Learning is always an interesting and intriguing aspect when it comes to understanding human beings, or as a matter of fact, any living species. Over the period of time, people tried to decode how learning used to happen in human brains or any other living species. Now, over that journey, people has explored both neuroscience, cognitive and other aspects to decode and understand how it is supposed to happen. Over the period of development of areas such as artificial intelligence has been concerned, the new emerging area called as machine learning is designed and derived aimed at understanding the learning aspects of human brains and thereby how we will be able to replicate and recreate similar kind of learning approaches for the future. Now, in that segment of learning has been concerned, people always try or people are always excited to know how an individual is supposed to learn. Learning is not something that has been common to everybody. It depends upon various factors and various parameters. But at the end of the day, whenever we are looking forward for a human being or as a matter of fact any individual to be learned a specific topic or an aspect, how do we do that? How do we train them? An individual learns from very younger age as a toddler to a very elder age. Now, in this particular journey, how it is supposed to be happening? What kind of learning individual does? Does he or she learn the things in the same manner, same pace, same approach, same kind of information? This is what is the questions that stands before when it comes to making the things learn. Now, the area of artificial intelligence or the area of machine learning specifically has been concerned with understanding these aspects in a manner to provide those particular answers and understand and then replicate the same methods into a machine that will be able to perform the same kind of job. Now, here what we do when it comes to a new student, a new entrant to learn this particular subject of AI or machine learning, it is not as easy as it seems. At the same time, it is not as difficult as it has been heard. Reason being, it requires a very constant and steady pace of understanding on how the things are supposed to be working and behaving. The people who has been worked, like me and many of my colleagues has been concerned, that they have worked and explored and experienced the area in multiple dimensions. Starting with aspects of neuroscience, behavior of a typical neuron in a human brain, which has been the critical unit of learning, how the neuron is supposed to be working, how the neurons as a group are supposed to be connected and worked and behaved for a specific behavior, and how this particular entire neural network as a form of single unit will be able to understand and thereby guide an individual to a right direction. That is what is all the learning about. Now, when we talk about a new entrant in learning this particular new subject of neural networks has been concerned, what they have to learn. As a faculty, I can teach them anything, but what actually they learn is what that makes them more effective. So, our learning approach changes as we take a subject to a subject. In this case of neural network has been concerned, we do provide the areas such as like basic understanding of neuroscience, computational criteria of how a neuron is supposed to be working and behaving, how the neural network is supposed to be formed in connection with multiple such neurons, what are the various tendencies and factors that will be able to impact a neural network, just like how they have been impacting an individual. At the same time, in what manner and in what way this neural network can be used in real time for any specific machine to perform learning. Because at the end of the day, all these efforts are supposed to be deployed onto a machine that will be able to perform the learning by itself, just like any other living creature. At Woxsen University, subjects like machine learning or artificial intelligence, neural networks are always taught in a manner of experiential learning. This approach enables the student not only to get an understanding on the subject but also provokes a motivation in terms of how to learn, what to learn and what to do. As an engineering graduate, any student that has been learning, or as a matter of fact, any student who has been learning this particular subject of machine intelligence is necessary to be exposed into how the learning actually performs, at the same time how it is supposed to be conducted from a mathematical and systematic perspective. That has been very important. A student being introduced into a particular subject will initially be exposed to the fundamental aspects of learning, followed by systematic flow of behavior, at the same time mathematical aspect of functionalities, followed by platforms and criteria on which these particular aspects can be designed and deployed, at the same time scope of where these particular technologies can be used and applied as a single unit. Nowadays, a lot amount of information though is available on the internet and other medium, but when it comes to exposure of being an engineer, of capability to derive and develop a capability to do these things, is not everyone's cup of tea. That's why at Woxsen University we ensure that the student is effectively exposed to such kind of methodologies where he or she will be able to capture the skill that has been required, and thereby the kind of things which the subject imagines and ensures for the future should come into reality. Thank you.